know what I was going to say?
We're talking about definitions.
Can you remind me who Gronk is?
He's a football player.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Every time
Just won a Super Bowl.
That wouldn't imply me knowing who. Brady won the Super Bowl.
He did, Tampa Bay.
Okay.
We live very close to Tampa Bay now.
We're Tampa Bay Knights.
I don't know if I could ever be a Tampa Bay Knight. Because I don't like the way that sounds.
I'm a Tampa Bayan.
Hey Frank, what is it? What is someone? Oh, Frank's talking to me. I don't want to bother you. It's all right.
It's fucking hilarious.
Someone who's from Miami. What is it? What do they call it? Like a Miamiite?
Miamian.
Miamian? Miamian.
Orlandonian. We're saying
But I mean, I never say that. I would just say Floridian, I guess.
Floridian. That's what we are. We're Floridian. It's cold at night.
It's cold at night.
It's cold at night here. I have to put on a sweater.
I don't know if it's cold at night, but I mean...
It's cold at night.
You guys are like Canadian.
Yes, no, we're Floridian now. Have you not been listening to the show? We do not define ourselves by the country we were born in.
So, like, you guys, I guess translate well to snowbird, because everybody from up north wants to get away from the snow, and birds really get away from the snow, so they like snow.
Except those Canadian snowbirds go back. We're not going back. We're staying.
Gotcha. You guys sound content being Floridian. So
We are very content being Floridians.
I like the laws and the governor and the freedoms of the state. Don't even get me started on that. All right, what were you saying? Definitions.
The very last thing I said, I think we closed out that segment because the very last thing I said was the definition. You are not the one up until now likely who built the definitions for yourself. They've been built by your influences of society, your culture, your environment. Own your definition.
Yeah.
Don't let somebody else define you. Don't let influence
Society,
define
yeah,
you. Don't let
exactly.
your experiences define you. You get to choose what you want to become and what you want to step into.
And that's the thing, like that's the rhetoric. Like that's what every motivational sermon's about.
Yeah.
You can be anything you want to be, you can be all that you can be. We all hear that. We all are, indoctrinated to that message. But yet there are millions upon millions of people who live lives of quiet desperation. And that's what our show is about today. Some of the secret sauce that helps you break that down. And look at the first thing, it's part of our Eliminate Your Limits system. The first thing we teach is how to de-identify to what you think you are. Mm-hmm. Truly.
Completely. You know what I was going to say? I was going to say, like, I know why people live these quiet lives of desperation. Like, okay, I know all the reasons why, because there's multiple, right?
Yeah.
But can I tell you one of the things that I think is like the biggest factor, okay? The biggest factor is that, we don't recognize that it's not about 60 days to a new you.
Yeah.
It's not about the 6 weeks to uncover your best self, right?
Agreed.
It is a lifestyle. It is a lifestyle and a continual commitment to learning about yourself, growing into yourself, developing who you want to be and how you want to change life. Like there is no, because we use the language, right? Like, no, you're like, define yourself, right? That's not a one-stop shop.
No.
You're not going to define yourself, like,
It's a daily pursuit.
right, because if you define yourself once and then you stay there, well, that's just you staying stuck in one definition, right?
Yep.
You got to decide to immerse yourself in the journey of yourself.
We talked about this last week on our show.
Did we? This is
No, it's a great segue. We talked about this last week on our show, all about how you create what we call free nature avatars.
Right.
That you have to establish an alter ego. Mm-hmm. That does not change who you are, the fabric of who you are, but it's a persona that you become slowly over time, and that is an overtime process. Like you adopt characteristics and traits and mindsets of someone or people who have achieved or would achieve what it is you want to achieve. And you have to go back to that persona daily. Journaling for us is a daily pursuit. But I want to ask you a question before we keep going. Did you or did you not look at my notes on the break?
I didn't.
Are you claiming you did not?
I'm telling you I didn't. I'm
Factually.
not claiming. I
Factually?
did not.
Factually.
Factually, I didn't. Look at
Pinky
my
swear.
notes. I think you
All
swear.
right. The reason I'm asking is because this was my second point in the secret sauce.
Well, look at that.
This was my second point in the secret sauce.
I'm so impressed with my mind power.
This is the next thing that people listening today and watching today have to understand. Here it is. You ready? It takes simple and consistent application over time, because things take longer than you want them to. So Usain Bolt, who I believe is still the fastest human of all time, 100-meter record holder, Olympic champion, etc. He's got a great quote. Took me 8 years to train. 8 years of training to run 9 seconds. Most people quit when they don't see results in the first 2 weeks.
It's so true.
That is the second part of the secret sauce. It took the man almost a decade to run 9 seconds. But most people quit when they don't see results in 2 weeks. You're using the wrong barometer of progress. Results is not the barometer. It takes a simple and consistent applied effort over time. Things take longer than you want them to take. Do you know how many entrepreneurs I've worked with who quit before the magic happens? They stop. They stop before it all starts to get rolling for them. It takes longer than you think.
You know,
that's the second secret sauce.
I'm sitting here thinking about that because, you know, we've talked about this before, and I often come back to this point, like, why do people quit? Why do people ultimately quit? And I believe, I believe there's probably a myriad of reasons, but I believe one of the greatest reasons that people quit is because of some sort of pain point, right?
Yep.
Like an insecurity, lack of self-worth,
Very
fear,
Yep.
worry, like doubt, all those negative things that come in and cause you to quit, right? I can't do this, you know, I'm not good enough, all those things. So I would argue that that's like a pain point. Let's call it that for this moment, right?
Sure.
It's a pain point. We are like, as human beings, we have never been, and this is why you and I do the work that we're doing, particularly with youth, actually, is to help youth understand this.
Yep.
We have never been educated to know that emotional pain is okay.
Yeah.
That it's not like, it's okay to feel fear.
Agreed.
It's okay to feel doubt. It's okay to feel uncertain. How do we navigate that? What do we do with that? Like, because I feel fear sometimes. You feel fear sometimes. It's not that we don't feel fear. It's feel the fear and learn how to dance with it. Learn how to use it. Learn how to feel uncertain and still step forward. You know, one of the Seth Godin, whom I absolutely love, often says, if you're not dancing a little bit with fear, you're not living your life's passion, right?
You're not putting enough life into your life.
There you go. Life into your lives. Yeah, there you go. You got
lives into your life.
So like, feel the fear and like, how do you keep going, right? So like, it's okay. Like, you feeling self-doubt or uncertainty, or is this gonna work or is this not gonna work? Like those, like, is it gonna be, you know, a good move to move up 3 hours north, right? Like, those thoughts are not the problem. The problem is when those thoughts lead your actions, right? And that's when we quit and give up. And Usain Bolt, 8 years to run however many 9 seconds, right? It's the reason we take 9 seconds to, most people, give up in 9 seconds. That's an art, obviously I'm over exaggerating there. But my point being is, if we could learn to elongate the ability for us to feel a little bit uncomfortable, we would be able to change that story and we wouldn't give up as quickly. Does that make sense?
It does. And for those of you who are listening on SiriusXM, you just did a great sign language for elongate, but nobody on the radio saw it. It was a great, descriptor.
My hands moved away from one another.
It was well done though. He's like, right when you say elongate, it was well done. I haven't decided why I believe most people give up. I haven't decided. I think insecurity is part of it. I think fear of success can be part of it. Certainly fear of failure. I think there's a lot of reasons. But I'm going to tell you the one that I've rested on as my number one reason for the last decade. And this is what I talk about a lot with entrepreneurs as well, is influence. Influence. If you look at modern day marketing, be it on TV, be it on social media, wherever, what you experience is a lot of over-promising. I can help you lose 60 pounds in 6 weeks.
It's a good way to look at it, right?
As an entrepreneur, the ads you see from business gurus often read to the effect of, my super secret system will teach you how to make 5 figures a month in only 30 days, that kind of thing. So I think we've been over-promised hype for so long that we actually accept that influence as real. Like we accept those words as real, and it's a lie. And we should stop lying to each other. Because if you are, for example, 60 pounds overweight, I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to lose it in 6 weeks. And if you do, you're going to gain it back because the way you lost it wasn't sustainable.
Right.
So there's just honesty.
Yeah.
I actually think that's one of the things I'm most proud about what we do and our company. We don't overhype marketing. We don't overpromise and underdeliver. We tell people no matter what it is you want to accomplish, it's going to take time. This is part of the secret sauce. You have to be willing to pursue. So for me, as an example, my alter ego is, a world-class powerlifter. I picked up powerlifting for the first time in my life 18 months ago. My intention is to win world championships. That's unheard of at my age. It's unheard of for a neophyte lifter. I started lifting when I was 46 years old. But I've adopted the persona. I've adopted that free nature avatar we talked about in the first couple of segments. I've adopted that definition so heavily that it's just become who I am. But the thing is, I don't intend to win this world championship until 2027.
Right.
I'm willing to put in 7-8 years of work just to get there. Because there's no influence on me that suggests that it's going to take less than that.
Right.
Now that said, what you don't know, because I saw you looking over there, is Frankie just gave us the word twirl.
Really?
Yes, we got to get to break already.
Wait, okay, I'm going to finish it. I'll say it when
Carrie
I come back.
Campbell's going to say some important stuff when we come back, so you got to come back with us. After the break, this is Eliminate Your Limits with Brian and Carrie on SiriusXM 145.